AgRevival Inc. was founded to provide a data set that bridges a gap between the technical research that's important in agriculture and what we as farmers can experience on our farm when trying a new product or practice. My name is Nate Furley, and I'm the founder and chief agronomist here at AgRevival. And with me is
Blake Jarvie, research operations lead here at AgRevival.
I founded AgRevival in 2015, really based around conversations with farmers where products and practices were entering the marketplace with a data set that had the typical 5 bushel, 7 bushel, 8 bushel increase, all developed from small technical research trials. What I realized was that when we put these products or practices on our farms and stretched them across those quarter or half-mile sections, we introduced the variability of soil and we introduced a lot of the variabilities of the operations of farming. And then would see maybe a bushel or a 3 bushel increase, or on the other side could potentially see those 12 or 15 bushel increases. There was a need for a data set that sped the process up and took the farmer trials out of the equation. How can we help companies get to the farmer faster? And we did that by designing our research trials with strip trial replications.
Yeah, I'd like to dig into just the 3 main research trials that you see across farming. The randomized replicated block trials that really dig into maybe active ingredients or different modes of action on herbicides or fungicides. And then we take it a step further with our replicated block research, stretching anywhere from 200 to 500 feet, replicated 4 to 5 times across this area. Still replicated research, but really getting variation from the soil. And then the next step after that, once we see something really proven out into that data, then we look at farmer trials, strip trials that are stretched across 10, 20, 30 acre blocks that farmers are doing, and we're assisting in that process.
So oftentimes you think of a small research trial. Our trials actually consist of about 1.9 acres on average. When we take a look at one particular study, it can take up a lot of room. So it's important to keep us close to Gibbon from a logistics standpoint, but we also have the variability amongst our farms to test things on different soils. For instance, what's our highest and lowest pHs that we farm on the research farm?
Lowest pH is probably in that 5 range, and then the highest is up to 8.
That's a big range.
It's a big range, but we also go all the way from sandy hills all the way down to low, really clay-packed organic matter soils as well, really covering the Minnesota geography of soils.
Yeah, not only are we placed here right in the heart of south central or central Minnesota agriculture, but we start to think about where that soil kind of represents, right? We have those 8.1, 8.2 pH soils like we would have north and west of us. We have some of those 5.5 rolling hills like we'd have southeast of us. So we're kind of the epicenter of all agriculture here in southern Minnesota.
So when we lay out a trial, do you just randomly put a study out there, or how do you really pick where this study goes?
It goes to that consulting point, and that's why it's important to have these meetings with the companies before the growing season, because sometimes we actually do one study on 2 different soil types. We'll put it on the Isaiah farm and we'll put it down here on the Titus farm. And sometimes we just look at it and say, well, this product is designed for a high pH soil. We're not going to put it on a low pH soil because that's not where it's going to be sold. That's not the application intention of that product. So we want to make sure we're placing these products in the environment, on the soils in which they're going to provide that best story and that best experience to help place it on farm. During that process, we will identify what those expectations are as it pertains to scouting information, visuals, the amount of data that they can expect at the end of this. So it's kind of the whole year process. This isn't just another data providing company. We really want to help you tell a story to the farmers to help really engage that solution to the grower. So most research companies have really specialized equipment that's designed to look at the data or provide a specific data set?
Yeah, so at AgRevival, we're using field scale equipment, like some of the stuff you see behind us, the 9400 for a combine, 7280 for a tractor. Yes, our planters are small, 4 and 8 row, but everything that you see on them is stuff that any farmer can buy.
We do make modifications to our equipment, but it's to assist in the process of the research. It's to keep our timeliness of planting in check. It's to keep the timeliness of our spraying to be relevant to the trial. For instance, having multiple cone tanks on our Hagee allows us to spray a foliar trial all within 30 minutes to an hour, so that product A doesn't have an advantage or a disadvantage over product D. Also, some of the cones that we add to our planters, having cone tanks allows us to clean those systems out very effectively. So when switching between products, we're not having to go back to the shop and tear everything apart. We can do that in line in the field. And then finally, the scaling system. That's kind of the flagship of our harvesting process. Having a scale built inside of the combine so that we're still collecting the data based on weight, not utilizing a yield monitor for flow, but also not having to have the weigh wagon at the end of the field and dump every single data point into that weigh wagon, capturing that data and then slowing that process down. If it wasn't for a farmer taking a product or a practice and applying it to their operation, then what good is all the work that we do? It's really important to help the companies that work with us tell a story, not just provide a number on a piece of paper. So we do that through tours. We do it through the visuals that we collect. We do it through the way that we process and share that data back to the companies, ultimately helping farmers make that connection. Also, we have this beautiful facility here that we can help facilitate tours. We can facilitate the ability to share your product or practice with farmers. Again, designed to help connect farmers to the solutions.